Viewers, welcome to Die!
Is that how we're honestly going to start the show? Because that is
Yes.
the greatest way to start a show.
Yeah, I always start the show with something incredibly ridiculous like that. It's just how I roll, man. Anyway, I'm Michael Ford, as usual.
I'm Steven.
And today we have a very, 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 very special guest.
Hi, this is Aristocrat Wolf from Tumblr. My display name might be something completely random. That's because I chose the bullshit name when Google decided to ass rape YouTube.
Yuff Yuff.
I'm glad they're finally dropping that.
Yuff Yuff actually, it sounds like the name that, like, it sounds like an onomatopoeia a furry would say while they're having sex.
With what? That's the question.
I guess it depends. I guess it sounds like what two wolf furries would say while they're having sex.
Oh God. But that's one way to start the show. First topic.
You should have seen last week's episode.
Yeah, he had to cut it short. He had to cut it. It was only 40-something minutes long because I asked Steven if he'd fuck Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's the moment I left.
Yep, that's the moment he left. It only went on for like maybe 20 more seconds while I sat there in confusion.
Wasn't that the same one?
That's the moment I left.
Isn't that the same one where, if I remember right, you said you were discussing, like, who would fuck the Loch Ness Monster and such?
Yeah.
That is that episode.
I haven't watched that one, but I've been meaning to because it was like, well, what?
Loch Ness Monster's pussy would be really loose, I swear to God. It's probably been fucked so many times.
Okay, that was last week's episode, Michael.
I'm still not over it. Nessie, come back to me, baby.
Well, if we're talking about the Loch Ness Monster, I think now that'd be considered necrophilia.
Oh no, it's dead.
Nobody gave it 350.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's today. Sorry. Critical is streaming with Vine Sauce, I think.
That sounds awesome.
With Vine Sauce?
Yeah. You know, Vine Sauce, Vinny? I reblog Joel's stuff a lot, so...
Yeah, I know Vine Sauce, Vinny. My friend Vicky likes Vine Sauce, Vinny.
Yeah, Vine Sauce has got some pretty good stuff most of the time.
I mostly watch Joel's stuff, because that's how it goes.
Oh, man. I feel like there was something I really wanted to talk about on this show today, and I can't remember what it is.
I brought up the subject of what do you think they would do for Iron Giant 2 and anything we would like to see.
Oh yeah. You were wondering if we could talk about what they do for a sequel, right? Like if they did a second one.
Yeah, I did a long time ago because I was looking up the movie. I forgot the director's name, unfortunately, because
Breadbird. It's Bread.
Yeah. He was saying if they were going to be doing during I think the Vietnamese War.
I feel like if they did a sequel, maybe it would be like. Have you ever seen the deleted scene where it's like the giant is dreaming and there's like a huge army of robots that like go around destroying planets or whatever?
Yeah,
I
I heard about that one.
It would probably involve that. That would probably play a part in whatever happened in the sequel. Like the Iron Giant has to confront the army and try and teach them love and how to be a Superman.
Actually, that'd be a really interesting concept. I wonder if that scene's supposed to be like what they were talking about in the trailer. They were saying it's going to be in theaters for only like 2 days, and it's going to have like 2 new scenes. And it's like, I want to be there for that.
Wait, it's going to have new scenes?
Yeah, I think if I remember right, they said 2 scenes are added.
Holy shit, what if they added the dream scene so they could foreshadow a sequel? holy sweet titties of God.
I swear to fuck,
I'll
Vin
give you
Diesel
my
better not be
opinion.
doing us. He better not be doing us with that shit about. Don't be surprised if they announce the sequel.
At the end, it says the Iron Giant will return in the Avengers 3. I make that joke at the end of every movie, like, I watch Street Fighter, Guile will return in the Avengers 3. I'm watching Battlefield Earth, John Travolta will return in the Avengers 3. I'm watching Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy will return in the Avengers 3. I just make that joke with every movie. I'm pretty sure my entire family is sick of me doing that.
All right.
Oh yeah, I remember I
I'll
was
give-
watching Monsters Inc. with my brother and my mom, and like my mom had already left like right at the end because she was fed up with the ending. She was like, "Man, that was a lame ending." So I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Sully and Mike will return in the Avengers 3." I think my brother just like rolled his eyes, and he rolled them so hard it was audible. I know I did some movie though.
I'll give you
I'm
my
actually-
2 cents on the Iron Giant sequel. I believe there's a grace period for sequels. That you have to do a sequel in a certain amount of years after the original, and that after a certain amount of years that you shouldn't do a sequel for it.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't think there's a statute of limitations on sequel. Like look at Tron. Tron had a sequel like what 30 years later, and it was just as awesome as the original.
I've never seen the original. My dad has, and he said that's a snore fest.
What?
Now-
The original Tron is one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time, and without it, we wouldn't have Pixar. Because
Now-
John Lasseter was inspired by that movie. That movie was a pioneer in the field of special effects, and I will fight you on the street if you say that Tron is not a landmark in cinematic history.
Okay, now I got to say this. When it comes to my dad, he's really weird about what movies he likes and what movies he hates.
I bet
He mostly likes sci-fi stuff. Like he likes John Carter from Mars. He likes that
Okay,
movie.
I think right there, considering what my brothers told me, we can just take your dad's opinion and put it in the trash.
Oh,
Pick
and
it up, trash. There we go.
and he likes Pluto Nash.
Oh goodness.
Opinion, trash.
Goodness.
I think I can say though he does think Iron Giant's a good movie.
Like, come on, I like The Room, and I have better taste than this guy. Come on.
Oh, if we decide to watch The Room, we'd be making fun of it like non-stop. We did the same thing when we watched Birdemic on Netflix.
Oh God. The Room. That's how I met a lot of my my Tumblr friends. Is like somebody did a live stream of The Room, and we were all just sitting there making fun of it.
Remember when Ian did like a live stream of Food Fight?
Oh God, that was the best.
Holy shit.
Like Food Fight. Food Fight is a movie. It's the first time I think I've ever seen an animated movie that was so bad it's good. Because usually when I watch an animated movie and it's like bad, like I hold animation to different standards than like live action stuff. So it's
Right.
like usually when an animated movie is bad, it's not really bad in a good way like a live action film can be. It's
Right.
bad in a way where, because like if an animated movie is bad, it's usually because the animation is shittier, the voice acting is dull or something, and usually it doesn't come together. But Food Fight was like a miracle. It came together in just the right way with the ridiculous voice acting and the horrible animation, and everything just like blended together into this like disgusting smoothie of hilarious stupidity.
Also, let's not forget the fact that they somehow got an all-star cast.
Yeah, I think that's because back in the day, it's like, it was actually going to be a real thing, and then it's like they managed to suck in all of these famous people who just recorded all their lines and had to keep coming back in. I saw this funny theory that I think it was in when Phalis and Obscurus Lupa and Cinema Snob reviewed it, that the reason Charlie Sheen went insane is because he had to keep being called back to that movie to record lines for like over a decade, and that's why
Right.
he became a drug-addicted psychopath who fucks hookers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that's unrelated.
I think I think maybe Charlie Sheen was crazy all along, you know, like Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that seems to be the most likely cause. Has anyone ever heard anything from Charlie Sheen? The last time I heard any news about him was when he did the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, I haven't heard much of him. Honestly, I wouldn't be unhappy to see him back. Like, as far as crazy nut job celebrities go, he's no Mel Gibson. Let's say that.
Yeah. When I saw that he did the Ice Bucket Challenge, he decided to not use ice or anything like that. He, like, dumped, like, a shit ton of money on him, and he said, all this money is going to charity.
That was great.
Charlie Sheen's a nice guy, I think. I think he's just a little messed up, but his heart's in the right place. Let's just hope his heart isn't. Let's hope his heart isn't too enlarged from all the cocaine. But you know,
you know who's also a nice guy that people pick on a lot?
Who?
John Cena.
Something I wanted to talk about on the show that I learned about recently.
How nice John Cena is?
Oh yeah, he is a nice guy, but
see, it's always these people you least expect who are the nicest. But what were you gonna say?
That horrible Flash cartoon.
Oh, fuck
Which one?
that. Gen Zed. Fuck
Oh.
that shit.
So, Internet Aristocrat actually recently did a video on that.
Oh yeah, I watched like the first 2 minutes of it, or 3.
Oh,
I watched the
How
whole
can you
thing. I know
finish it?
exactly the video you talked about.
It was like I stopped at the point where he said to go like I stopped at the point where it first showed where he first showed like the animation, and then I went to the video to check it out, and then the first comment I see is someone pointing out that Maddie Blaustein was trans, and that they're full of shit saying that it's the first trans person in a lead role. And then the fucking channel, the people who make the show, actually had the gall to say she doesn't count because she's part of the ensemble. Well, let me ask you something. Do you consider Darth Vader not the main character of Star Wars? Does he not count as a main character? He's the major villain. If you are a major recurring antagonist, you are indeed a main character. And let's don't they have more than one character on the show that the show's going to focus on? Like, oh, isn't your character part of an ensemble too? I saw the stupid little title card there. There were 4 characters there. I guess you don't have a real main character either. I guess you're a fucking ensemble too. So, yeah, take your claim and shove it right back up your rectum where it belongs.
Slow down there for a second. Slow down for a second. Some people might be wondering who you're talking about.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I guess I should explain before I go off.
it's fine.
I figured. You, oh, sorry. I figured you of all people would know who Maddie Blaustein is, considering. But yeah, she was trans and she was the voice of so many characters in anime. She was like Yugi's grandpa on Yu-Gi-Oh! She was Meowth on Pokemon until they changed the voice.
The president was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, that's true. She was just in a lot of stuff. She was and you know, she was a main character. There's no denying that Meowth.
I would definitely consider a recurring villain that appears in just about every episode would be a main character.
I remember one comment was saying, "You saying Meowth ain't a main character? Fuck Pikachu. Meowth was a straight gangster."
But Meowth is basically in almost every episode. If that's not a main character, I don't know what is.
Meowth had a fucking balloon that looked like his head. That's a main character right there. It's like saying, like, if you are a major antagonist to the point that you're appearing in like 90% of the episodes, I'd say you're a main character. I mean, that's like saying like, I'm trying to think of an example. I know it's like on like show like My Little Pony. Not all the main 6 ponies show up in every episode. They're still all main characters.
If you want an example that the Bronies could probably make fun of, Like Applejack, they say is like the weakest character out of the 6.
She is. She fucking sucks.
Yeah. I have to actually catch up on the show, but it's like, I don't know. I hope it doesn't become a situation where where it basically, and this is going to be a really bad example, but I hope they don't like accidentally Simpson the whole entire thing, where they try to write more episodes based on Applejack and they keep on failing, just like with the Simpsons. They kept making more episodes based around Lisa, and everyone was like, "No, please stop."
Well, I think
my main problem with Gen Zed is that it's just a marketing thing, just saying, "Look at us, we got a trans woman playing the main character.
Oh
Look how special we."
Yeah, the whole thing, it'll get by on a season with novelty alone, but I think after that the thing's gonna be, like I was saying the other night, I think that it's gonna become like the new, people will be saying things are deader than Gen Zed instead of deader than disco, considering that disco's making a huge comeback these days, and thank God for that. I fucking love disco music.
Yeah, but Gen Zed has worse animation than Control Alt Delete.
How dare you mention that work of art in the same sentence as Gen Zed? Tim Buckley did nothing wrong. That's the guy's
Johnny Test looks better.
Johnny Test is a saint compared to Gen Zed. Johnny Test is a god among men. He's part of B. Shrek Test movie in the house.
Oh shit! I was gonna fucking say something.
But that's literally the only selling point they have for their show. That's
Still,
really
Gen Zed looks way better than Teen Titans Go. I can give it that.
Oh no, I think Teen Titans Go even looks better.
No. Gen Zed at least has some originality and isn't shitting on people's childhoods. Like, literally taking off their pants and, like, eating a fucking entire platter of Taco Bell tacos and then just letting loose a stream of diarrhea all over your fucking childhood.
Yeah. I got to hear how absolutely horrible it was for Mr. Enter when he reviewed the episode where they did that whole time travel thingy again that was like based on the original, and I was like, okay, so not only do you make a show that's insulting to the original show, you're literally pissing on the fans. That's good quality. Quality.
And they love doing that. They love just pissing off people who like the old show and making fun of them. They make fun of their critics, and, you know, one thing that I think is pathetic is when you get this inflated sense of ego where you think you can attack your own critics. Like, I remember Taylor Swift does that a lot, especially with the song Shake It Off, which is why...
They literally have an episode where they talk about how if you don't like the show, it's because you're too old for it.
Oh yeah, the clown episode. Mr. Enter reviewed that one too.
Wasn't that one called The Return of Slade?
Yeah, Return of Slade. Slade doesn't even appear because even though Ron Perlman has been in many shitty movies, including one with Nicolas Cage, he knows better than to go onto a show like that. See, when someone who has been acting in a movie with Nicolas Cage doesn't want to be on your show, I think that's when you should, like, sit down and rethink your entire life. This guy, let me reiterate, he was in a movie with Nicolas Cage, and he wouldn't go on Teen Titans Go.
But, dude, Nicolas Cage is a god.
Yes, I know. I'm just
exaggerating.
Joking. Nicolas Cage is one of my 3 favorite actors, with Christopher Walken and DiCaprio. That's like my holy trinity: Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Did you mention Mr. No Emmy? No Oscar or whatever it is. I don't pay attention to those award shows. The only time I do is when there's drama. Oh, like the VMAs.
Oh god, the VMAs.
Oh boy.
Where Nikki dragged Miley.
More like Nikki fucking showed us all that Stupid Hoe was an autobiography.
I have like one follower that's like going all, yeah, Nicki Minaj, and I think this is like the same follower that I have a suspicion can't, at the very least, doesn't like a lot, 90% of the things that white people do, those kind of people.
Oh boy.
White people are the worst. Everybody lived in peace and harmony until the white person crawled out of the ground with a cane in one hand and a Bible in the other.
That actually reminds me of a story I've mentioned a few times on my blog. It's like, I used to be mutuals with this girl way back when I rebooted my entire blog. I think it was, geez, when was it? Was it 2013 or early 2014? It was like a year ago or something. But it's like, I rebooted my blog and I was mutuals with this girl. Back then her URL was like Kylie Kawaii. She was like the whitest girl you've ever seen. She seemed nice at first, and then as like time went on, she started being one of those kind of people. Like she was one of those self-identified. She was like one of those self-identified feminists. Like she was reblogging this feminist bullshit all the time, like the kind of 1 in 6 women are raped, blah 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 blah. And I mean, like she actually, I think she was actually a rape victim or something, or like there was like some sort of sexual assault kind of thing. So, I can understand the sentiment, but some of the stuff she reblogged was just outright bullshit. Like she was a nice person otherwise, and she was fun to talk to. She was a genuinely nice person, but she kept descending into craziness, and she kept going and going. And the funniest thing is she was always reblogging shit that was like dragging white girls for like wearing their hair certain ways, but she was also always reblogging stuff that was like praising Taylor Swift or whatever too. So it was like, and I was always like, all this stuff you're blogging insulting white girls, like you do realize that you're like the pastiest motherfucker on the planet, right?
Yeah.
You are whiter than a bleached asshole, girl. Stop dragging your own race.
Now,
so she eventually blocked me, I found out, because I wanted to see if I could go and, like, refollow her a while back, but I couldn't reblog any of her posts, so I guess she blocked me, because after that time I pointed out how Taylor Swift was a fucking hypocrite.
Hey, now, Michael, don't be a shitlord. For all you know, she was trans black.
Oh, God.
I think I would lose, like, negative all respect for her. Like, it would be, like, 0. I'd have more respect for, like, who's like, a really terrible person? I'd have more respect for Donald Trump than for her.
Oh, wow. That's saying something.
I actually, when I looked through her blog, she still was the same as she was, like, a year ago. Like, I think I've changed from a year ago, and she's still reblogging stuff like, fucking white girls wearing dreadlocks and shit.
Yeah, well, that's how life is. Sometimes some people grow up, and then some people still stay blinded.
Yeah, my brother's like that, too. He hasn't changed in a long time.
Isn't your brother, like...
My brother's 20. He acts like a goddamn 8-year-old half the time.
Oh yeah, I remember when he got pissed when I was like super drunk and I beat him at Smash Brothers. As Shulk. I was playing as one of the hardest to use characters while drunk and I still beat him.
Okay.
He threw my controller across. He threw one of my controllers across the room, and I just turned off the Wii U and picked it up and took it away. And like, no, don't do that. You can't play this anymore.
Bad dog, into your cage. No treats for you.
So, Smash Brothers. Just so I know, who do you guys main? I main Mega Man.
How?
What?
See,
How the fuck can anyone make Mega Man like work? I've tried him so much and I just can't get it.
Okay. How I play with him is I take a lot of advantage of like his basic attack because his basic attack can stop nearly every single projectile from coming. If you just shoot it once, he'll stop Link's arrows, he'll stop boomerangs. It can stop a lot of projectiles. His Metal Blades is good for just like distracting people. The things you have to remember is if they like to jump a lot, use his back air, which is the Metal Claws, because they actually do a lot of damage. And if that doesn't work, wait until the person does something really stupid, get up close to them, and uppercut them like the little bitch they are. Because Mega Man's uppercut kills Bowser at like 100-something%.
I I really want to play that again. I haven't. I mean, I can't play right now because I don't have a TV for playing my Wii U on yet. But
Okay.
last time I was playing my Wii U, I was just playing Splatoon over and over.
I want to get that game. I really want to get Splatoon.
Oh, Splatoon's so good, but
But when I play Smash Brothers, let's see, I have a few mains like characters that I like using a lot. Pretty much any character from Fire Emblem I like using, which is weird because I've never played Fire Emblem, and I like playing as Shulk. I like playing as I know there was a couple others.
I guess.
Mewtwo. I like playing as Mewtwo and Ryu.
Oh, Mewtwo got so much better.
Yeah,
Mewtwo. It's so much better for Melee. Let's see.
Every Smash Brothers game after Melee got better than Melee.
Yeah.
One time I stubbed my toe and it was better than Melee. I stubbed my toe one time I ran one time when I was little, I ran up the down escalator at the mall because I thought I was leaving my mother behind because she had stayed up on the floor while I was going down. And I tripped and I fell and I gouged open my knee and I was gushing blood everywhere. And it was still better than Melee.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little extreme. Melee is a good game. It's just not the best game ever.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I guess like Melee was a necessary step forward, but now it's kind of if you play it now, it's definitely like a couple steps backwards. So it's not like fighting games like that. Like fighting games tend not to age as well as other kinds of games. I feel like I feel like the games that age the best are like platformers. Because, like, even the ones that have, like, stupid problems, like the original Crash Bandicoot and its shitty saving system and its ridiculous difficulty, that game still managed to age really well. Like, it's still a pretty fun, if kind of obnoxiously hard platformer today. And, like, Jak and Daxter, the original Jak and Daxter aged like fine wine. I could pick up that game and take a sip right now.
All right. We'll get back to... I forgot his name. I want to call him Pizza because that's what I know him
Steven.
as.
Steven? Yeah.
Okay. I can.
The Steven and Michael show, the show that you're on.
I'm obviously Michael. I mean, unless you think I've been lying about my name for all these years.
We'll get to Steven's main. I just want to share this possible controversial opinion about a certain game that is popular. I think it's a little overrated, just a little. I think Mega Man 2 is a little overrated.
What is it?
Mega Man
2.
Oh,
and
it's an excellent game. It's an excellent improvement over the original.
Mega Man 2, I've played a little. It's all right. I mean, I have a hard time with it. I guess that like I played it on my 3DS, and my 3DS hasn't been working well for a while, so like that might be the problem. But you know.
It's an excellent game. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad game. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, though. It's definitely good, but like, it's just really hard. And I'm not like, don't get me wrong. I'm no pussy. I'll play a hard game, but it's just like games back then were like ridiculously hard.
The problem is you couldn't go into it not knowing anything about it and get through it. You had to go through it numbers of times before you figured everything out.
Mm-hmm.
It's still
Quickman stage is one of my least favorites when I first played the game because how is the first time player supposed
to... Fuck that shit. Oh my god.
Oh wait, are you talking about the one with the fucking lasers?
Yep.
I like that a lot better in a Bobo's Big Adventure.
Oh, that's why you need to beat all the other robots. I can even tell you the order and what to beat them in. And then you need Flashman's thing so you can freeze the lasers in place and run like fuck.
Yeah, you can do that way. But my problem is, how is the first-time player supposed to know that?
Oh, you don't. So you get raped.
You just
my bad.
Use the 1980s internet, Steven. You know, like the dial-up with like the two websites, and one of them is like a fan page for like the Black Cauldron.
Right. I know how. You have a subscription to Nintendo Power.
Yeah, that's the only way, really.
They tell you
That's my problem. That was my problem, is that you couldn't get through this stuff unless you had Nintendo Power, or that you just play through it enough times to learn it.
or you
There was
pray to the
also-
gods.
There was also free books called How to Win at Nintendo that gave you really quick details on how to beat certain areas of the game and even gave you cheat codes. I have number 3 somewheres.
Anyways, so my Smash Bros. Mains, now that I can talk about that, I main Roy, both of them.
Oh, I love Roy. The Fire Emblem one.
I main both of them, and I'm really good with both of them. And
Roy's our boy.
And I really do a good Mewtwo as well.
Yeah.
I love playing as Bowser Jr. Roy.
Oh, I do like Bowser Jr. He's pretty fun. I mean, he's not. I'd say he's more like a low tier favorite. Like he's kind of like a side main. But like, I like playing as him. I like playing as Captain Falcon and Ganon too. Ganondorf especially, since he's a lot better than he used to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just kind of wish they would. I just kind of wish they would give him like a more original moveset. That's my only complaint.
They were supposed to do that in Brawl. They were supposed to do that. I don't know why they didn't though.
Because it's like, so let me get this straight. You have a history of all the interesting things that Ganon can do. And let me get this straight, too. And what is probably not considered one of the best video games of all time, in Ocarina of Time, you give him a projectile, and you never put that even in Melee.
They made him Captain Falcon. They made him a slow Captain Falcon. I have no idea why they did that.
It was probably like time constraints, and they just wanted to add something new. They've kind of moved him away from being a clone in recent times. I mean, like he's more like a half clone at this point, like Falco. Like he's not, because characters like that, they at least have some like unique. They have some unique like standard attacks. If like their special attacks are kind of similar. And their like standard attacks are like unique though. It's not like something like Lucina where she's pretty much the same thing as Marth, except boobs. Which that makes me like her a little more than I normally would any other clone.
Yeah.
Marth with titties, yeah, I can get behind that, literally.
You know who no one can get behind?
Dark Pit.
Yep.
I think he would have been so much better if they made him play like he did in Brawl. If they made him play like Pit did in Brawl.
That would have been good. I wish they had done that. I mean, I know he's literally supposed to be a clone, but it's just like, I feel like if they were gonna waste a Kid Icarus slot like that, they could have at least done Hades. Hades would have been a great character.
I'm just saying,
he's a fun character too.
What he was originally is that he was really just going to be an alternate outfit for Pit.
That's actually how he started out in Brawl. That's why the character exists, because of Pit's Fallen Angel alt in Brawl. So
Right.
they put him into Uprising, and then they made him a separate character in the 4th Smash Brothers, and it's just
that's what they were going to do. They're going to make him an alternate outfit, like they did with Omar and Alf.
I think I remember the reason Sakurai didn't do that is because it wouldn't make sense for Dark Pit to have Pit's Final Smash.
Right. But they changed. They did that with a couple characters. Like Lucina was originally just going to be an alt for Mark.
As Sakurai, I think he was just like, oh yeah, they played differently enough that we can make it a separate character. And technically, the clones are just like extra stuff that they add at the very end of the development cycle.
That's exactly what happened with Dark Pit, Lucina, and Dr. Mario. That was so at the end of the cycle. It was at the end of the development, really. So because they were clones, it didn't take that much to alter them. It didn't take that much development time.
Yeah, so it's like it's like that's why I don't think the clones really hinder the gameplay that much. I don't think they're as much a problem as people make them out to be. And even that being said, I really like Dr. Mario and Lucina. I think, especially Dr. Mario, I like him a lot.
Yeah, but people were acting like they took character slots away from other characters. No,
And
they're just nice little bonuses.
yeah, they're just little bonuses. Like, if you honestly think that fucking Ridley was cut so that they could put in Marth with titties and emo pit, then you should probably just go fillet a cactus right now because you make Donald Trump look like Einstein.
I want Ridley to be in. He's
Honestly, I would
he's
like
too
to see
big.
Ridley. I think Ridley has some good potential.
He
But,
does.
But he's too big.
I think they could find a way to work around it. I think they could. I don't know if it'll happen. I think if they, get to work on Metroid games again and they get another established villain who's, a little more reasonable in size, maybe.
Oh, you mean an actual Metroid game and not the one that's going to be coming out soon for the 3DS?
I think that game looks pretty interesting, to be honest.
A lot of people got turned off by it because they already seen it. It was that what
That's my
game?
secret. I'm always turned on.
While we're talking about E3 and all that, I have one really important question. How the fuck do I play this game so far in the Nintendo World Championship? How did Eagle get so far into that thing?
Blind dumb luck.
I think maybe he just intimidated his opponents with his infinite chins.
And his super random out of place tie-dye hair. I think when I saw Internet Aristocrat stream that, and I think he said it was a cum line.
Oh God.
Honestly, I think Ego Raptor kind of gets too much shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he can be a real obnoxious douchebag, especially when it comes to talking about certain video games and certain long-running series.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for him to redo that because he said he was going to be redoing that whole entire thing, and it's like, so let me get this straight. You're going to try to backpedal and damage control yourself as hard as you can.
I don't know. I just feel like he's more a guy that it might be fun to hang out with than it is to listen to him talk about game design as if he knows anything about it.
He's not really that funny either.
I respect him. I respect him as a comedian. I respect him as an animator. I don't respect him as a critic because he's kind of up his own ass when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Well,
my favorite thing is that he'll play games and he won't even read the instructions on how to play them or the tutorials. And you're like, how do I play this? What am I supposed to do?
I think he probably does that. I think a lot of why he does that is probably because he wants to try and create more comedy. Because, a lot of comedy is derived. I think it's like all comedy is derived from other people's suffering or something like that. And so, you see him being an idiot and suffering for his idiocy, and we're all yelling at him to stop being an idiot and laughing at him for being stupid. So, I think it's just one of the cleverest ruses in history.
Oh, somebody unfollowed me on Tumblr and called me a misogynist because I didn't like Susie.
Okay, let me make one thing clear. I think on that post, you started off way too excessively salty there.
That was the point. That was the point.
I don't get why though. If you want to make
posting.
you should just come out swinging. You should have just started insulting Susie from the get-go instead of just waiting until everyone's up.
Of course it was cancer. It had Susie in it.
Susie is cancer. Game Grumps itself is not cancer. Game Grumps, that's like saying that, what was it? That's like saying who had cancer. Was it Paul Newman or Patrick Swayze? That's like saying they were cancer because they had cancer. I can't remember which one of them had cancer.
They're cancer because they have cancer.
You aren't the cancer. You have the cancer, but the cancer is not you. Game Grumps has a cancer in the name of Susie Burke. I don't give a fuck what her last name is, but yeah, Susie's a Cancer. Susie is Cancer. Aaron and Dan and Barry and Ross, they're not Cancer. They're just...
What? I think Encyclopedia Dramatica written her as she's basically Yoko Mono.
Encyclopedia Dramatica really
they
isn't
said I was
a place. It's not really a place you should be looking to get facts. That being said, yes, she is like Yoko Ono.
But they said I was woman hating or whatever because I said they thought I said Game Grumps fell because of Susie. I'm like, no, Game Grumps was always shit.
It's not, it's really not misogyny to say, yes, this woman is incredibly unfunny. It's like, that's ridiculous. It's misogyny to say, I hate Susie because she's a stupid fucking woman and she should get in the kitchen and make Aaron some sandwiches. That's misogyny. Saying, Susie is just, like, not funny at all. She has no comedic timing.
I mean,
She's not funny. She has no good sense of humor. She's just kind of awkward and, like, it feels like she's being shoehorned in. That's not misogyny. That's criticism. If we're living in a world where you can't criticize someone without being called, like, some sort of ist, then, that's not a fucking world. That's a fucking bullshit. That's like fucking Nazi Germany right there.
That's a little extreme of a...
I feel like half the stuff that I say on this show, no one's gonna take seriously, because whenever I talk, you see fucking,
like,
she's
not funny. She's not funny. Yeah. Like, she's not funny because she's a woman. No, that's not at all. That's not the thing at all.
Meryl Streep is funny, and she's a woman.
Her being funny, her not being funny, and her being a woman are completely unrelated things.
Because women are.
There's plenty of funny women. She's not one of them.
I haven't watched Game Grumps ever since JonTron left. I mean, I've watched some episodes, but I was just kind of like, I couldn't get over the fact of what Eagle's basically become, because, like I said on Tumblr, I've been watching his shit since, like, 2005, 2006. I've seen his rise into popularity and all that, and now I'm seeing his downfall, and it's kind of like, this is really depressing.
I know. When I first started, like, really going on the internet, I remember seeing, like, Metal Gear Awesome, and I was like, oh, man, I want to play this game. It looks cool. What is this game he's talking about? This is fucking hilarious. Finally, years later, I got to play it, and it's like it was one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite games, especially the third one. But it's like, it's just. I remember he used to be so cool and funny, and he was always animated and hilarious shit. And then it's just like he had Game Grumps, and he was doing it with John, and it was funny. And then he was doing it with Dan, and it was just as funny, no matter what the people said. And he was like doing all this cool stuff, and then he made Polka Awesome 2. Then he made fucking... What was that other thing? Then he made that sequelitis with Zelda, and it's just like... And then, from what my brother said, he can be a real asshole on Game Grumps these days, like, more than he used to be. And then it's just like...
Yeah. I think...
Why, Aaron?
I think...
You were the chosen one!
I know this...
bring balance to the Force, not destroy it.
I'm in a Brony group with like 100-something people, and we were talking about Game Grump once, and I think this dude didn't like Aaron too much because he would shit on John's taste. Like, John's like, oh man, I really like Donkey Kong Country, and Eagle would just kind of come in and he'd be like, that's a shitty game, and let me explain why.
Oh my god, yeah. When he did that about Symphony of the Night, I wanted to smack him upside the head. Like, I remember he did that about Symphony of the Night. I think when he was, I think when him and John were playing Bayonetta, he was, like, talking shit about Bayonetta and Samus or something.
What?
Like, I remember him and John played Bayonetta, and I feel like he was saying, like, Samus, or something about how Samus isn't really a good representation of women for video games or something, and Bayonetta wasn't that great or something like that. It was a long time ago.
That's another thing. Eagle Raptor's, like, almost starting to cross that line, because a lot of people were starting to get nervous when they put up that trigger warning about suicide jokes, and it's like, so let me get this straight. On, like, your very first episode, I think it was. John says cunt, and you don't have a problem with that. And I think the only word they never wanted people to say was, like, nigger.
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's
whoa,
a word a lot of people shy from.
whoa. We didn't
Alright.
just bring racial slurs onto my show, did we?
Okay. I'll remember that then. The N-word then.
I'm not, I mean, you know, I'm not one to be, like, censoring stuff. I'm not comfortable. I'm not
yeah.
comfortable. I'm not really comfortable with.
That is
We
my
can't
mistake.
say that word until Porky gets on here.
Yeah, especially not. Yeah, if we're gonna get Porky, let's not.
Alright, then I apologize for what I said.
Like, listen, I know. It's like, you know, I'm all for freedom of speech. I don't think words, but you know, it's like, it's just I'm not comfortable with it. Like, I say a lot of fucking offensive things. But you know, sometimes I just have to draw a line somewhere.
It's okay. Well,
I'll go get a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm gonna draw a fucking line. It's probably gonna be shitty because I can't draw for beans, but you know.
I mean, I only ever say that word around my black friend.
alright.
Wait, you're what? You have a black dad?
I said friend.
Oh.
You know, the black guy who lives in my basement?
You know, when you first mentioned him, I thought, you know, I think you gotta be making a joke. No one has someone they describe as the black guy who lives in my basement. But you literally had a friend who was the black guy who lived in your basement. I remember. I think I had a really good Smash match with you and him, and I lost, but it was a really good match.
Oh yeah, he's really good at Smash, but yeah, it was like I describe him to people as the black guy who lives in my basement. He's really a friend of my brother who lives with us because some shit that happened, but he's living with us. And he lives in our basement because we have a room down there. We actually have a bedroom set up down there. You know.
Oh, that's cool.
Because my cousin used to live with us, and we had a furnished room down there. And that's where he lives now, since my cousin moved out. He lives down there. And so I like to make the joke, we have a black guy who lives in the basement.
So, back to Smash Bros. Who do you hope wins the
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta? Okay, Michael
Shovel
says
Knight.
Bayonetta.
Shovel Knight.
Her sweet ass in Smash Brothers.
Me, in all honesty, I would like to see Simon Belmont.
Oh yeah, Captain N reunion. Let's do this. The best thing about Simon is you could reasonably put pretty much any Belmont as an alt. You could get Richter, you could get Julius, you could get Trevor. All of them could just be alts, and it would be great.
Too bad Konami's getting out of video games.
Yeah, too bad Konami's getting into like auto fellatio or something.
They're getting into Pachinko machines and slot machines and mobile games.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be a reason why they might put someone from Konami again in Smash, because Capcom's not doing so well either, and they're just kind of like, hey, yeah, Mega Man, and here's Ryu, and all these other characters. Yeah, have fun.
Honestly, I would love to just see them just keep churning out DLC characters for the foreseeable future to make this the ultimate fighting game.
Yeah.
They said what characters.
I wish Shantae would get into. I would love to see Shantae in.
I'd love to see Isaac from Golden Sun.
You and your Isaac from Golden Sun.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I love that character.
I want Snake. I want Snake.
What about Isaac from Gun and Son. I'm thinking of someone else
Isaac
that they just recently made us.
Isaac from Binding of
I'm
Isaac.
thinking of someone else. Oh.
They had
I know they came out with a costume.
Oh, you're thinking of Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
They should put in the lead character of Codename Steam into Smash Brothers. Advertise that series.
Codename Steam was a good game. I need to play more of it.
They should put Sephiroth and Halo into Smash Brothers.
No.
I want to
Anyways.
see Goku.
I want
Anyways.
Sailor Moon in Smash Brothers.
All right. No. Anyways,
I want to see Sonic the
My
Hedgehog in Smash Brothers.
he's already in there. You dingus.
I want to see Shadow the Hedgehog. He was in my favorite video game ever, Shadow the Hedgehog 2 and Knuckles, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry.
One of my favorite images that whenever people say an anime character they want in Smash that's not a video game character, I always reply with the picture that says, Goku will never appear in Super Smash Brothers, you fucking weeaboo.
Actually, technically, Goku already is in Smash Brothers because you see Sean Shamel, who voiced Lucario in the movie, came to voice Lucario in this game, and Sean Shamel was also the original voice actor of Goku. So, technically Goku is in the game. So, shut the fuck up, weeaboos. You got your fucking spiky-haired orange.
He's just a furry. That's it. He's just a furry.
And look, we got fucking Mewtwo. So look, there's Freezer. And I think that there's an alt costume for someone to be green, so there's Pickle Jar. And I don't know. I guess Ganondorf can be Vegetabilieater, or whatever his name is.
Anyways,
The Bowser Jr. is clearly
Krillin?
Kimchi.
Oh.
anyways,
Pikmin
as I was going to say, is that what characters they don't use from the Smash ballot, they'll take into consideration for the next Smash Bros. Game.
I'm hearing it might be called Smash 6 because Sakurai says that 3DS and U are basically Smash 4 and 5 respectively.
No, that was a rumor. That was a rumor.
That was a rumor?
Yeah.
Really?
It sounds like something he'd say.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was a rumor that the next game's going to be Smash 6. That was a rumor.
Oh. Who knows? I just hope they kind of put back in a story mode. That'd be nice.
That would be great. I really wish there was a story. Speaking of Smash, there's actually something I wanted to talk about, and this reminded me, the lack of story mode. People give Smash 3DS a lot of shit. Because, it's, technically speaking, it isn't as good as the Wii U version. But I want to point out a few things, because there's actually a lot in the Smash 3DS that I think makes it better than the U version. In those ways, I mean. First of all, I want to point out, Classic Mode in the 3DS game is a fuck ton better than it is on Wii U. Classic, I like the branching paths. I liked all that. That was great.
Yeah, on the Wii U, it's like entering in a battlefield.
Yeah, I don't like playing fucking Risk with my Smash Brothers figurines. It's so tedious. I hate how there's so many characters you have to fight at once. I hate how there's no themed battles. At least there's not many like giant battles, horde battles, like metal battles. Did I already say metal battle? It's just like it just doesn't feel very fun. It feels tedious.
I like the idea of it being this board because I like how like
It is
on the board. He's fighting his own battles and getting stronger while you're fighting your battles.
I guess. I don't know though, but yeah. So
you could take the rival out first, and he'll be weaker, or you can wait for him to be last, and he'll be a lot stronger.
I don't know. It just didn't interest me. I more like the branching path and the feeling of like it felt more adventurous on the 3DS. And then speaking of adventure, compared to the ridiculous board game thing they have on Wii U, the Smash Run on the 3DS is so much better. I loved Smash Run, fighting all these iconic video game enemies and the massive amount of Kid Icarus ones. Just like exploring this weird-ass island, punching all these video game enemies. That was fun. I loved that, even if the ending battle thing with the random mini game that you had to do was usually ridiculous. That was fun. The board game on the Wii U isn't like, eh. I
I
didn't.
mean, it's alright if you have four
It's
people
not. It's
playing
not
it.
awful, but it's like so. It's just not as fun. I don't think it's as fun.
I'm just waiting for them to put back offline tourneys. That'd be nice.
Oh, and then one more thing. Another thing. The All-Star mode, and this one's kind of weird. I don't like the All-Star mode in this game as much as the one on the 3DS. I don't like how it goes backwards through time to fight like the 1980s people last. Especially because in the very last match of All-Star on the Wii U, you have to fight Little Mac, and if you're unlucky, he can literally fuck up a perfect run by one-hit KOing you.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's always a worry on that. Yeah, that's true.
because on the 3DS you fight the really early characters from like the early 80s first. So you get Lil Mac out of the way. So it's like if he accidentally uppercuts you because you were too busy fighting off Mario and expanded Dong in the very first match, it's like it's fine. You know what? You fucked up, but it's no skin off your nose. You just restart. In the Wii U version, you get there and you're like fending off like 4 characters at once, and then it's like Lil Mac uppercuts you off the screen right when you're about to win, and that's fucking bullshit.
I've never really had that problem.
I know, but
I guess it's just because I'm good at Smash, Michael.
okay, yeah. If you're good, you're not gonna have that problem. I've never had the problem, but it's like a constant worry. Like I'm panicking at that point.
Oh yeah, I get you.
The problem
I had that worry too.
The problem I have is putting it on hard mode is like me basically asking, okay, I want you to punch me in my balls. I just want you to punch me in my balls. Why?
Yes.
I'm doing hard mode on All-Star. I gotta go through all these characters. Just punch me in my balls. What's that challenge? You want me to beat All-Star mode on hard with everyone? You're sadistic.
I mean, it wasn't that hard, but
It is for me. I mean, I think that's just because.
There was like, oh man, one more thing. There's a lot of stages I wish they had kept for the Wii U version.
Oh, like what?
Oh, I wish they kept Magicant.
Oh my god. That's my absolute favorite stage.
That stage is, it's so good, and we don't have a single good mother stage on the Wii U. We have Onett, and Onet's okay, but I've never really liked Onett that much.
What about Foreside from Melee?
We don't have Foresight on Smash.
I know. I mean, Melee. I think it was called Foreside. That was the one.
Yeah,
Decent
Doesn't Foresight have like some obnoxious vertical drop that makes it impossible for Ness to recover? Or is
Yes.
that
kind of.
Yeah, actually.
See, that's why I wish Magicant would be available for Wii U.
Well,
And-
they wanted the games to have some big differences, like in the stages. They wanted them to have unique.
There's a couple other stages like that I was surprised that weren't on the Wii version, but they were in the 3DS. Like I think the scrolling Mario Brothers stage, the original WarioWare stage.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of other stages that only were on the 3DS version.
The Find Me stage was an interesting one.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
And then you had the Tomodachi stage.
I think the only reason they didn't is because those were like 3DS exclusives.
Yeah,
and-
those are 3DS exclusive things. So I understand with like the Find Me and with that, but the Earthbound one I don't get because you can really only play Earthbound on the Wii U anyway.
Well, here's the thing. How they did the stages is they gave the big stages to the Wii U version because the camera on the 3DS version couldn't handle it. Like stages like Hyrule Temple.
Yeah, those
big
stages.
open areas. So they gave those stages to the Wii U version, the big open area stages, and gave a bunch of like closer area stages to the 3DS version.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's how they did that. Because you'll notice most stages in the 3DS game are flatter, with less jumping around.
Yeah, especially the one with the Nintendo stage, where you have the blocks falling down.
That stage was so cute.
I know.
Okay, and actually, the first character I decided to vote for, and here's me coming in being furry trash. I put in Crystal, and then I
Oh
put in
God,
Finn.
furry trash. You degenerate furry.
Did you see that picture I posted on my Tumblr?
Oh God.
One that said, when I said I was furry trash, did you think I was lying?
No, I believed you. I mean, your name's Aristocrat Wolf. You have Delphox as your background. I'm pretty sure you've liked and reblogged furry porn, including some that I've posted.
I,
Yep.
I, I have nothing against you degenerate nasty furries. I have nothing against you
You have
filthy
a
shit fucks at
Knuckles. You
all.
have a Knuckles avatar. You better
And,
not.
when it comes to pornography, I live by the immortal words of Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet. I'll fuck anything that moves.
Um, yeah, I now have a separate adult blog. So that way my followers on.
I mean, I follow the entire furry fandom.
I love
That is
me
a,
some, I love me some sweet Pokemon titty.
she is hilarious. Ellie, she is so fucking hilarious.
Um,
Honestly, furries get too much shit. They're honestly these days they're a lot more like not
They're
as
a lot
obnoxious.
tamer. They're a lot tamer now.
Like back in the day, I remember hearing stories of what happened with like the very beginnings of the furry fandoms, what they did to the Tiny Toons Adventures voice actors, and that's fucked
oh,
up.
yeah. If you guys ever need some good old furry drama, because that's what we're known for, besides the porn, is we're known for our drama. I can tell you some. In fact, we have one right now. It's like FA transparency, which is basically fur affinity transparency. And that one's all about how the fact that Dragoneer, the owner of the Fur Affinity website, basically said, hey, we're going to be having new admins. We're not going to be telling you who they are, though. And
Oh,
everyone's throwing a huge fit. And now they're bringing up old stuff that happened before and that are related to this. Like when Dragoneer started the whole, hey, we're doing a fundraiser so that way we can get new servers for the website. So people started donating a lot of money, and at the same time, he was posting a lot of images about his new iPad and iPhones that he was getting. It was like, hey, what did you ever do with that money, Dragoneer?
Oh yeah, he's starting to post the pictures of new stuff that he gets, and it's kind of getting a little suspicious. I get that. He probably
And
should have pulled it off posting pictures of that. It's like, are we really sure that's where the money's going? Is to the new servers? Are we really sure? I get that kind of problem. I understand that.
yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. A lot of people will not let go of the whole Zosh thing. Like, even people who aren't furries kind of know about the Zosh drama that happened.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay,
I
so
was when you said there was drama in the furries, I thought it was gonna be like some Jay Naylor drawing another fucking comic about someone fucking his sister again or something like that.
no, if you want that kind of drama, you have to go to some dude called Orochi or something like that, because he's the dude who's like, hey, you have this character that's your persona. I'm gonna draw porn of them, of me fucking them. You got a problem with it? Too bad. Suck my dick. And he just
Oh, thank you.
does it anyway. He does it anyway.
Yeah, I think if I understand that if like you don't want somebody drawing porn of your character, that's something you shouldn't do. You shouldn't draw porn of somebody else's character without their permission or
Yeah, I
consent.
mean, unless it's like some sort of like I kind of like that kind of thing. Like if it's like a character that's big in pop culture, like I don't mind if someone's drawing porn of Darth Vader or Pokemon or something. But if it's like someone's OC,
Yeah, it's usually OCs.
yeah, don't do that unless you get the artist's permission.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, if it's something small like somebody's OC for their role playing or their stories or something, somebody's small time thing like that isn't a huge big character. That's kind of like a more personal thing. I get the problem with that.
Speaking of OCs, I wish people would draw my OCs, fucking or otherwise. Like, I just wish I haven't actually talked about my writing in a long time anyway, so I guess I'm not really surprised. Every once in a blue moon, I'll reblog the few characters I posted on here like last year and pray that someone decides to draw them, but no one ever does.
Back when I used to roll.
What the hell was that?
Uh-oh, has your house been invaded by reptilians?
I used to do role playing on Tumblr. I'm talking about years ago, like 2011 ago, or 2010, like back then.
What the fuck?
I used to role play on Tumblr, and
No, not that. I just read something on like the Facebook ticker, like the trending news, and it says Bernie Sanders says he's not running campaign against Hillary Clinton. His quote is, "This campaign that I am running, let me reiterate, is not against Hillary Clinton or anybody else." Okay, Bernie, I hate to say this, but if you're running for president, you are indeed going to be running against several other people. Is he going senile? Are we going to have Ronald Reagan Part 2?
Oh man, that seems, and that's the thing. Like, when it comes to all the like complete seriousness, it's just Bernie Sanders. I haven't even seen any support for Donald Trump. It's like nothing but Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders this, Bernie Sanders that, and it's like he's going to win.
I honestly, out of every presidential candidate I've seen so far, he seems like the one who's the least dangerous.
But he's a big-time socialist, and I'm not.
Okay, okay. Would you rather have a socialist, a psychotic, watered-down American Hitler, or Hillary Clinton? Wait, what's the best choice out of those three? Because those three are the front runners right now.
I choose. I'm moving to an island near Bermuda.
I think that might still be part of America, and they might still, you might still be under the rule. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Bernie Sanders is a Jew. If he won the presidency, then we're gonna just hear for the next 4 years all these people saying how Jews control America.
Oh my God!
All the fucking Jew conspiracy theories are gonna come out. Bernie Sanders did 9/11. Holy fuck! As if it wasn't bad spending the last 8 years listening to people calling our President Obongo and making monkey jokes and saying how his wife looks like Chewbacca. We're gonna be hearing every anti-Semitic thing in the universe.
Oh, so just a little quick thing. Speaking of 9/11,
oh God,
someone has done it. Someone has done it. It's hilarious. Someone finally did it. They compared people in Gamergate. They said if you support Gamergate, you might as well support the people who did 9/11.
Oh boy. Well, come on. Let's be real here. That's actually one of the most mild things that those imbeciles have said so far about Gamergate.
Just remember that the people who are against Gamergate, just remember who these people are.
Yeah, aren't they right now, aren't they literally supporting a pedophile white supremacist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sarah Butts.
Yep.
Sarah Nyberg, or whatever her name is.
Sarah Butts. I guess the Butts is that she likes is underage ones.
She admits that she likes She admits she likes 7-8-year-olds. She likes preteens. She's admitted that in her own words.
Oh man,
she likes small children.
This is part of my great idea. You've heard of epic rap battles of history. Get ready for epic rape battles of history, featuring Sarah Butts, Roman Polanski, Lena Dunham, and Bill Cosby, with cameo by Jared Fogle. It's the greatest idea ever.
She's a self-admitted pedophile in her own words on her own forums. She's a self-admitted pedophile, and these people are defending her.
No one defended Jared giving his foot long to kids.
Oh, Jared, he likes them fresh from the womb.
Well, yeah, you go to Subway, so that makes sense. Subway eat fresh. He likes the kids fresh. He likes that pussy fresh out the womb.
But she's a self-admitted pedophile, and these people are defending her. She's a self-admitted child molester. She's talked about that.
Can we, this is gross. I don't want to be talking about child molestation.
Okay, I'll go back to the Zosh thing.
There was something else I was going to say that was really funny. God damn it. Now I've lost my train of thought. I'm pretty sure it was about Donald Trump, too. God damn it. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I pointed this out yesterday to my parents about Donald Trump. If he became president, he would break a world record. It would be the world record for president who had most assassination attempts on him at a single time. Because I guarantee you, he's elected, we'll be having snipers on every rooftop shooting at him at once. It'll be the greatest mystery of all time. Who was really the one who killed Donald Trump with their bullet?
And what's funny is like all the snipers are trying to claim they're the one that did it. That'd be the funny thing is, I killed him. That was me.
Like, I did
it. And then the people of the town are just like, give that man the medal.
Just give them all a medal. They're all heroes. And then they just erect this huge statue of like 72 people who all claim to shoot Donald Trump.
The snipers played their trump card.
It turns out that the real sniper wasn't any of those men. It was 9-year-old little Timmy from Idaho who brought his BB gun, and he accidentally set it off. Timmy's the hero America deserved and the one it needed right then. And he will never be acknowledged in the annals of history. You go, Timmy.
How do you feel about Kanye? Just like, I'm gonna run for president in 2020.
Okay, I actually talked to my mom about this last night because she thinks they're both idiots, and at first she was saying like, you know, she would rather vote for Donald Trump because he's a businessman, and then I pointed out, you know, technically Kanye West is a businessman, and you know, he may be an idiot. But, like, at least he's not a racist, misogynistic idiot. So, you know, he's really the lesser of the two evils. If you had to vote between Donald Trump and Kanye West, I'd go for Kanye because he has business sense. He is a good businessman because rap is is indeed a business. He knows how to do it. He's been doing it for years. And, you know, despite his incredible moments of ridiculous stupidity aside, he is a pretty good musician. He knows how to do it. He's not racist as far as I can tell. He's not misogynistic as far as I can tell. I mean, he clearly loves Kim Kardashian. He sang an entire hilariously stupid song about how much he loved her.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Donald Trump hasn't recorded a song about how much he loves his 28th wife. I don't believe his love is real. Also, I think Donald Trump needs to show us his birth certificate. I don't think he was born in America. He needs to prove it. Show us your birth certificate, Donald. Show us your birth certificate, you son of a bitch. And even if you do show it to us, it's clearly forged. You were born in Kenya, Donald Trump. You can't run.
No, he was born on the lizard planet.
Oh my God, you're right. Donald Trump is a reptilian.
So,
if anyone's a reptilian, it's Donald Trump. I mean, come on, no human on Earth could have hair that stupid. He's clearly a lizard man with a bad toupee.
Oh my God, Illuminati.
That's what I told my mom, because we were talking, this was another thing we were talking about last night. Apparently you can, like, rearrange one room in the White House when you become president, but you can't, like, do anything else. You can, like, rearrange one room or something. I said if Donald Trump became president, he'd make the Trumpatorium. And my brother said he'd have like a secret basement. He'd make a secret basement room, and I said, yeah, that's where he'd do all his reptilian Illuminati stuff.
His motherfucker.
Donald Trump, reptilian lord of the Illuminati.
He's not a reptilian. If you want to see a real reptilian, look at Hillary Clinton. That's a reptilian right there.
They're both reptilians. They're both trying to. Either way, if you vote for Trump as your Republican candidate or Hillary as your Democrat, then the country is going to be run by lizard people. They're both running together, opposed, so that no matter which way a voter votes, if they vote for the worst candidate, they're fucked.
We got it. We solved the mystery, gang.
They're counting. We solved the mystery, Scoob. Let's go to the malt shop and order a sandwich. Man.
Watch me swoosh right in.
Boy, I'm glad he's in there and we're out here.
And that he's the sheriff.
Jinkles. I'm sorry, I had nothing to add.
Okay.
You already quoted all the good bits. Buff Shaggy, the greatest
Okay.
blog on Tumblr. Where did he
So,
come from? Where
did
did
he
Buff
go?
Shaggy come from?
I have, dude. I wonder about that for a lot of Tumblr memes. Like, why is the Brother Bear quote just all of a sudden a meme? It's like, how does this shit get started?
Honestly, I'm really glad because I think Brother Bear deserves a lot more respect than it gets.
I still love the.
You know why that movie filled with Inuit people failed at the box office and is utterly forgotten? You know why?
Why?
It's because it had a Phil Collins soundtrack. People were so opposed to Phil Collins. People are Phil Collinsist, and they hated him for years. Phil Collins is one of the greatest musicians who ever lived. Did you listen to Invisible Touch? It's one of the greatest albums of all time.
I still love that one time, just for like a couple hours, Womps were a meme. Womps from Mario Bros. Were a meme just for a couple hours at one time.
What was?
Womps, the falling block enemies from Mario.
Those were a meme like a million years ago on like YTMND or something.
There was
Night everyone was posting Womp memes for like a couple hours, and then it stopped.
you've probably, because you both follow me, you've probably seen some of his posts. Do you know the name? Get out of my head, Charles.
Oh god.
I think so. I've probably seen them.
He's the avatar that has the juggernaut.
Yeah.
I think he tried to start a meme that was actually pretty funny, and it was the scene from the X-Men, the animated series, where the lady goes, "Scorpions," and Wolverine's like, "Oh no, they're everywhere!" And then Carlos took the scene where it shows all the scorpions on Wolverine's body, and he photoshopped from Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
I wish I could create a meme.
Porky
The
created
closest
one.
I ever came was that time when I made that post that okay, so I guess it's happened like maybe 3 times where I made a post that got like 10,000 notes over, and every single time it was because it was a bunch of assholes were blogging it to make fun of me. It was like I think the first time it wasn't. It was back when Twitch Plays Pokemon was still relevant. And like I made this post calling out League of Legends players, saying that they're a bunch of fucking assholes. Then I got a bunch of angry LOL players yelling at me for that one.
I remember the Get Good apocalypse.
There was that one. That one went like viral. That one's still getting notes. It's got like it just appeared again in like my top liked posts. It's got like 14,000 notes, all of people calling me a retard and telling me to get good.
Okay.
And then the other one was that time I sang that song about the bowl of M&Ms and Frogman reblogged it, and then all of his followers were making fun of me.
Okay. I know we had our little trifle. I wasn't trying to like argue or debate or something like that, but you did get what I was trying to say to you, right? I was trying to say like if you respond to these people, like they're just gonna keep coming. And I have to say right now, yeah, it's overdone, and I think people need to stop sending you Get Good.
They did stop. I ended up deleting like pages worth of it, and now if I get them, I just say, hey, buddy, you're a little late to the party. That was over months ago. Sorry.
I try to start shit all the time. I try to do posts, horrible posts, get me death threats, and nobody says anything.
You should. What you gotta do? You gotta insult their popular memes. That's what you gotta do. You have to insult the memes. You have to say I know what to do. Say Steven Universe is a show for backwards faggots, and you'll get like 2 million death threats in like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Stuff like that.
10 minutes? That's a lax day.
Yeah, they can't all be a Tuesday night at Taco Bell, you know.
I do shitty jokes all the time, or jokes that I think like that would piss people off, and nobody says shit, and it's hilarious because like I was like, ooh, when are the death threats coming? Is this going to get me the death threats?
You know, I think my thing is, and my mom has said this to me, I just have this kind of personality where, like, a lot of people just want to punch me in the face. Like, because at work, I get, like, attacked at least once a week if I have to present food at the window.
You work at McDonald's, right?
Yeah, I work at a McDonald's.
Okay. See, I can somewhat sympathize for you because I used to work at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's for 3.5 years as a lobby person, where all I did was restock the napkins, the straws, I swept and I mopped and cleaned windows. Our McDonald's is kind of like nothing like that. I mean, you might get some rude customers, but I don't think there's been any instance where someone wanted to physically attack one of the workers. And for the most part, everyone who kind of goes there is kind of nice because they're all kind of seniors anyway.
Well, the thing with me, I work overnights.
The first day I worked at Piggly Wiggly, somebody got arrested, and it was one of the employees.
We've had to call the cop. There have been times where we called the cops like twice a week for like an entire month. I think in the first half of this year alone, we called the cops like 100 times.
Dude, if a cop car parked in our area, we just basically thought, oh look, it's another customer.
I've actually there was this like crazy drugged up or alcohol drunken. He was either drugged up or drunk, and it was like this huge muscly guy. He busted into the friggin' outdoor cashier place, and he choked me, screaming at me about someone said something to his sister. And this was back when I still had heart problems too. So yeah, I was fucking out of it for the rest of the night.
Okay,
Holy shit.
The only popular posts I ever made on Tumblr, and I remember 2 of them, and one of them is a meme, the other is just something I sadly recycled from Twitter. The one that was a meme was the one where I said, Tenafly, so, how do you feel about the shoplifting fandom? I think we are being oppressed, and we are fighting capitalism and sticking it to the. And Tenafly just pulls out the breadsticks out of their purse and starts beating the shit out of them, going, "Stop breaking the law, asshole!"
Oh god, that was so funny. I remember that post.
I don't.
And
know
then, Ed?
Oh, you know what other post?
So
I don't
funny.
remember that post. I don't think I ever saw that one.
Yeah. And then the other post that I made that became really popular really fast, and I don't even think it hit 1,000 notes, sadly, was the one where what was that game from Brianna Wu? That was the one where I said, look, it's the final boss, and it was the villain from Food Fight.
Oh my god. That one got a lot of notes? Actually, that reminds me. There were 2 posts that I made that were actually good and got a lot of notes. One of them was this post where I said, like, I hope the battle theme for the Big Hero 6 world in Kingdom Hearts 3 is an instrumental of Immortals. And then
That'd be good.
the other one was the Captain Sandler post that my girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Captain.
The one thing that pissed me off about that though is people were this one guy reblogged it and he cut off the credit I gave her, and then everyone reblogged that.
At least he apologized.
Yeah, he did apologize, so I was glad about that, but it still upsets me that my girlfriend didn't get credited for this hugely popular post, because the reason it got popular after he cut it off. So like maybe like a few hundred people were blogged it with the credit, but like the vast majority of people have no idea that she's the one who made it. Like I got a bunch of follows from that and she didn't get shit.
Nah, that's kind of sad.
And she said it's not one of her best works or anything and nothing to be proud of, but I disagree. I thought it was hilarious. I thought she did a great job, and she deserves a lot of credit for it.
Well,
go
ahead.
Oh, speaking of credit, as soon as my girlfriend moves here with me, am going to be doing another show, a movie reviewing show. I figured I'd announce that here on this show. I announced it on Tumblr, but I'm going to do a show where I review four different categories of movies. I've already decided I'm going to do like four different kinds. So like, I figured since I don't see a lot of kind of reviewers doing this, I'm going to review like cult classic-y movies.
Okay.
That's going to be the first. That's going to be like the biggest thing. Like I'm going to review stuff like, I mean, obviously Rocky Horror is going to be on there someday because probably not right away. Let's not jump the gun with that first episode, but
We have the original version of that, I think. It's like from 1960 something, black and white.
Oh, what? Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like it's not even a musical, and it's actually kind of short, but it still has a fucking man-eating plant.
That's Little Shop of Horrors. I'm talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, was it?
Rocky Horror Picture Show is the one where Tim Curry is the alien in drag. Little Shop of Horrors is the one with the plant.
Oh, okay, sorry. I get confused.
It's fine.
Movies.
I mean, they're both still technically cult classics. I actually have the original Little Shop of Horrors too. I kind of think it sucks, except for Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was great.
But hey, if I went on the movie list of movies I need to see because they're super popular, everyone would want to slap me across the face because I've never seen the movies.
Oh, well, my show will probably give you a lot of movies to think about watching, like I was saying, cult classics. So it's gonna be stuff like The Dark Crystal, Black Cauldron, fucking The Thing, stuff like that.
I've seen Black Cauldron.
Yeah, Black Cauldron is one of those really obscure Disney movies, though. So it's kind of near and dear to my heart. The villain of that movie helped inspire one of my own characters. So I have a soft spot for it.
My antagonist for the thing, or like the world I created, is like a mix between. It's like he has somewhat the personality of the Joker, and he talks and acts as crazy as Hollow Ichigo from the Bleach series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, back on. I gotta get back to this because we should probably wrap up soon, so I want to finish talking about this.
All right.
One of my most popular posts was the one where I posted that picture from that game. What was it? Dragon Fantasy. I posted a item description, and it was like for leather armor, and it said for some reason this leather armor comes with a red rubber ball. This leather armor comes with a red rubber ball. I'm like, and then I followed that up with somebody on the Miiverse asked, "I don't get it. What does that mean? Why is there a red rubber ball?" And it was like ask your mom.
Oh boy, I remember them posts.
Ask your mom why somebody in a leather suit would need a red rubber ball. And I'm like, I'm going to get banned. And then the best part is somebody on the Miiverse liked the post, and I checked out who it was. And I'm like, what's this green check near their name? And it was a verified account, and it was from the creator of the game itself himself.
Oh my god!
Who liked my post telling the person to go ask their mom.
Started at the bottom, now look at you.
Started from the bottom, and I'm still here.
Bottom, now we here.
Oh yeah, but okay. Okay. I gotta finish talking about my conceptual show real quick. So, like another kind of movies I'm gonna do So Bad It's Good movies. Like Food Fight, The Room, that kind of thing. I guess those are just the two that pop to my mind because they're so obvious.
You should do a small segment of your show where you get me to look at the movie and then just I give a small comment on it, like what the fuck.
I'd be happy to have more people working on this show. I'm hoping this will be something that might help me support my girlfriend after she moves out here, or well, support us because it's not like gonna be just me supporting her. We're a team. We're working together. So this will be something. Oh, and then the third kind of thing is films that I think are kind of obscure, but because I feel there's a lot of movies I like that no one talks about ever.
Like
So
what?
I want to like give those a chance, like movies like Equilibrium or Freeway or something. Because no one talks about those ever at all. I have never once seen anyone mention them in any sort of context. Or The Crow. I've never seen anyone talk about The Crow.
Oh, wait, isn't that superhero film with
Bruce
Bruce
Lee's
Lee's
son?
kid?
Yeah, Bruce Lee's
Oh,
son.
I think that's going to start to become well known because Watch Mojo did a segment where they talk about superheroes and they mentioned The Crow.
I would really love to see that movie. I found it on this list, Empire Magazine's 500 Greatest Films of All Time, and I watched it and I thought, why did I never hear about this before? This movie's really fucking awesome. So I think I mean, I guess Watch Mojo will help, but hopefully if I can get popular enough, I can give it a boost too, because there's another movie I want to do that for. I want to give a boost to this movie, Strange Magic. I was going to wait till I became popular on the show, then review that, and then, boom, that movie gets popular, because that movie is one of the most underrated movies of the past decade.
I can't think of too many. Whenever I watch movies, it's always movies that other people have seen, and I'm trying to think of like back in the VHS days.
Oh, yeah, VHS. Oh,
I
but
think
while you think of that, the fourth type of movie I'm going to review, and this is a special thing I was going to do, every 10th review, I was going to review a movie I fucking hate. Because, like, a lot of critics, you know, like Nostalgia Critic and, like, Mr. Enter and all those people, they review stuff that they don't like more than stuff they like. I want to be different. I want to review more stuff that I actually enjoy, even if I don't love it. And then, like, every once in a while, I'll review something shitty. I just want to have a good time. Because it's so much more fun talking about things you love a lot than it is talking about things you hate all the time.
actually, I was talking to one of my best friends, and I like gushed a little because she wanted me to. I gushed a little about the Iron Giant because she was like, "Well, what do you like about the movie?" And I basically said, "I like how it's a cartoon movie, but it kind of has like its moments where it's like completely serious and it's also lighthearted. It's like one of the only movies I've seen where it has like the perfect balance. It's like it has like the most serious subjects and." I don't know. I'm still
Like,
trying to.
it just feels more mature than, like,
Oh yeah, it's
something like one of the, like, Shark Tale. Shark Tale is an immature piece of shit. Iron Giant is a mature.
yeah, it's like more mature than like a lot of Disney movies I could probably think of, because Disney movies are like so whimsical and all this stuff. They still have their serious moments because you need that,
I
but
think
Iron Giant just kind of felt like a little more serious, and I think that was just because you have this gentle giant who like freaks the fuck out.
yeah. Oh yeah. I think that if we're talking about terms of balancing whimsy and dark seriousness, I'd say that The Hunchback of Notre Dame is a good contender for a comparable Disney movie on, like, those kind of terms.
Yeah, only because of
Honestly,
Frollo.
that movie, I think honestly, it's not my favorite Disney movie. It's one of them, but, like, I think it's the best Disney movie. Like, the absolute #1 best Disney movie.
Mm. Which is kind of weird because, like, when I was growing up, no one was really talking about Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, it got a really big boost in later years. I don't
That's
know
what
if
happens
he
with
had
a
much
lot
to
of
do with it,
movies.
but, like, the Nostalgia Critic talked a lot about it. Like, he mentioned how Frollo and Hellfire were, like, two of the best Disney villains and the best villain song, and, like, then he reviewed it for Disney December and said how it's, like, just one of those endlessly rewatchable Disney movies. In fact, that was one of the few Disney movies he didn't have too much bad to say about. Like, even movies like The Lion King he criticized a lot, while still admitting they were.
Ah, I can't. I do know. Ooh, how often? And this is because I don't see people talking about this Disney movie too much, and it's an animated one. A lot of people don't seem to. A lot of people don't seem to talk about Oliver and Company.
Yeah,
That's
and
one of
that's
my
a shame
favorite
because,
movies.
like, Oliver and Company is not one of Disney's best movies, But I always liked it. When I was a little kid, I thought it was pretty cool. When I grew up and I watched it again, I thought, hey, this isn't one of their best things, but it's pretty cute. You know, it's got Billy Joel in it. I like Billy Joel. And the villain's pretty scary, and he has a great death scene where he gets fucking crushed head on by a train and bursts into a ball of fire.
That is a pretty gruesome death, and it's like, do you think you'd see that nowadays in kids' films?
Honestly, I think the reason that one just gets ignored so much is because it's part of Disney's dark age. Like,
Didn't Don Bluth animate that one too?
I don't know if I don't think it was Don Bluth. Don Bluth did All Dogs Go to Heaven, which came out I think around a similar time frame.
Remember when John Tron reviewed Dragon's Quest? He said, "Is this Disney's work?" No, because Don Bluth is ex-Disney.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, it seems kind of Don Bluthy, especially because it has that guy that Don Bluth used in a lot of his movies. What's his name? Oh, he's slipping my mind. It's that guy. He voices like everybody in a Don Bluth film. He voices the stupid fucking troll. He voices I think he voices the Wiener Dog in All Dogs Go to Heaven. He voiced Kusa Lagoopa Goop on Dexter's Lab. What was his name? Dom DeLuise. That's it. Dom DeLuise.
Oh, okay.
Or I think that's it.
Oh, dare do not say Itchy. It's Charlie and Itchy. And then
Itchy,
you have...
that's it.
It's Scarface and... Killer, I think it was. The fat one with the glasses.
I thought
he was played by the always amazing Charles Nelson Riley. He was a mighty man, the kind of man you never disrespect.
I actually watched the TV series before I saw any All Dogs Go to Heaven movies.
I remember they did that. They did a TV series. I remember that.
Man, you know, All Dogs Go to Heaven. What a great movie. You know that little girl in that movie? She was so cute. I wonder what she's up to these days. Yeah, you know, I bet she lived a full, great life, huh? She probably had a great time. You know, I mean, it's not like she was fucking murdered by her dad.
Oh, you're talking about
Judith Barcy.
Oh.
Yup.
Oh.
I have done the customary thing I do at least once an episode by making everyone miserable. By bringing up
you. Oh my god! I completely
Speaking
forgot.
of dying, Wes Craven's dead, and I'm sad. I watched 2 1/4 of a Nightmare on Elm Street movies last night because I was sad.
Okay.
Yeah, that was sad.
I want to bring this up. If we're going to be talking about deaths like that, why? I can now think of one death that happened that just about, by the looks of it, just about, except for that one dick cheese, where everyone, and I mean everyone, cried about. Everyone was Satoru Iwata.
Oh, that's who you were gonna say. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned that on our show when we talked about that, and that was awful.
What?
What happened? It was awful.
It was. I said
it was.
It was. It was.
Sad. It was awful.
I was a lot sadder about that than I thought I would be. It's the second saddest I think I've ever been at a celebrity death.
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't think I've had any celebrities that I know or people that I like that have died. Satoru Iwata was like the biggest surprise for me because I was like, oh yeah, he's the guy that holds up the banana, and I'm just like, I don't know him too much that well. And then when I heard about his death, I was like, I felt crippled. I felt emotionally like crippled, and I just like cried quite a bit because I was like, he's gone. I know how he was important, and then I kept seeing all the posts, and it's like, oh my god, how much? It's like, this is how much of an influence Nintendo has. Like, when it happens, imagine what's going to happen when Reggie Fils-Aimé passes away, or Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh god.
Oh. I think I should bring up, there's only ever been, I think, one celebrity who died where I had, like, a really bad reaction, like that depressed, and it was
Robert Williams.
yeah, when Robin Williams
Oh,
died.
that's
Robin
not.
Williams died. I didn't believe it at first. I couldn't believe it because he seemed like, at that time I didn't know like all the dark gritty details of what happened to him. He was just this actor I loved because he made a lot of my favorite childhood movies: Aladdin, Hook, Jumanji, just the ones I watched over and over, and I just loved him, and I thought he was such a nice, sweet guy in those movies. And he just seemed like a fun guy when I saw him in other stuff too. So like when I heard it, I was like, no, this can't be real. And then I found out not only did he die, but he killed himself because he was suffering with depression, and like that hit way too close to home for me because I was almost like Robin Williams, and to see him go like that, and then I just spent the whole night crying. I was just like sobbing hysterically. I was fucked up, and like
On the night,
I wanted to watch, like I owned Hook and Jumanji, so the night he died, I wanted to watch the movies to feel better, but I was looking everywhere for him and I couldn't find him, and it just made it worse, and I just like.
Michael,
Oh.
calm down a second.
Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you tearing up there, man.
Yeah.
I'm tearing up a little.
I know that was the death that hit us all really hard. Someone that had such an impact on all our lives, and it's always sad when something like that happens.
It's not fair. He didn't deserve that. He just.
I'm pissed. The other reason I brought up Sitaro is because like that was like really surprising of how much of an impact he had on like so many people, because it's like I kind of figured he was just like he's like that funny dude who like appears and just like, hey, look, bananas, and everyone would laugh and he would make like constant jokes, and it's like that's funny. And then when it was found out like everything that he's done, it's like
He had a huge impact on the gaming world itself, on video games itself.
It was that was so bad too. Like when he died, I remember one of my friends. She's damn sparse on Tumblr. I was talking to her about it because she was really sad about it, and it was like I said, you know, I can't remember what I was saying, but I think it was like I was talking to her about it, and I was saying, yeah, when I first heard the news, I kind of choked up about it or something.
Yeah, you blogged my link and you said this was supposed to send me to a Rickroll.
No,
I remember that.
The thing is, I changed my mind about saying I was all choked up or whatever I said because he died of like a bile duct blockage or something, and I thought it was in very poor taste to use that phrasing. So I changed it at the last second because I realized it occurred to me. I mean, now it's fine to say it, but like.
I said something at the time. I said, I hope you go directly to heaven.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too bad. That's actually kind of sweet.
Yeah, that is. Surprisingly enough, I think Satoru's. I read up on this dude too, and he was important. And I wonder how people took it back then. Have you ever heard of the name Gunpei Yokoi?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
He was the dude who was responsible for the Game Boy. And
yes. I know who you're talking about now, and his death affected a lot of people.
And he was also the biggest influence of Super Metroid, which is usually considered the best Super Nintendo game ever made. And he died from a really horrific car accident.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was sad when he passed away. And yeah, he's the reason we had the Game Boy. He was like, I think he was like a janitor at the time or something.
I think so. Like
he was like a janitor at the time, I believe, and he came up with the idea with the Game Boy and brought it to them, and they ran with that idea, and it became one of the best-selling handhelds ever made.
Yeah, a lot of people started off in low positions. Like Shigeru Miyamoto was like, "Let's make a game. Let's make Donkey Kong," and they were just like, "Okay, let's see what we can go with it." And of course, there was the famous lawsuit that happened between Nintendo and Universal.
Well, if you want to know the whole story, I got the whole story. It's like they had this arcade game. I can't remember what it was in Japan that was really popular, and they were going to bring the machines over to America, but they didn't think the game would do too well, so they wanted to repurpose the machines. So they're going to make a simple game. They were going to make a Popeye game, but the licensing for that fell through. So they ended up going with an original idea instead, and that's what became Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Okay.
So they repurposed those arcade machines into the Donkey Kong game and did that in America. And it became so huge.
Donkey Kong.
Expand Dong. I think hasn't it? I think it's now been proven that the Donkey Kong that you see in the original Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong in the Donkey Kong country series.
I think the current canon stands that the original Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong, and that the new Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah.
That's the current standing canon, I believe.
Because Donkey Kong Jr. also appeared in Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, which I have. It's right now. It didn't age all too well, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna revisit my nostalgic days. There you go.
I got
Super Mario Kart.
I got that for free on Club Nintendo when it was still up. They had that as a free game, or a game that I could spend my points on, and I got that. Well, I think that's about it for this episode. This is twice as long as any of our other episodes.
Woo! I set a record.
Oh, it's good that we had enough to talk about for this long.
We had a lot to talk about today. We had a special guest. It's another very special episode, just like last week. It's like it's the inverse of last week's episode. Last week's episode was a very special episode that we cut short because I asked you if you'd fuck Sonic the Hedgehog. This week is a very special episode where we had a lot to talk about, filled with emotional moments and drama and hating on the stupidity of the world around us and stuff and things and crying and eating. And speaking of eating, did I already mention those chips? I didn't mention it on the show, did I?
The truffle fries?
It was before we started recording.
Anyways, yuck. Thanks for being on our show.
Anytime.
Yes, come back whenever you want. Hey, we could get our own trio again, just like when Ian used to be on the show.
And we still need to get him back on the show. We definitely need to get him back on the show at some point.
We could call ourselves the four Horsemen of Apocalypse.
Yeah, there we go.
Implying I'm not one already.
Which one do I get to be? Can I be Famine?
No, you're Pestilence because you annoy me.
I think just because of what Pete said, he'd be Death, and because I love destruction, I could be War.
I am Conquest, the horseman no one remembers exists.
Oh wow, there was a fifth one?
No.
Well, there was a fourth one. I think it's like which one? It's like War. It's War, Famine, Pestilence, and Death are the ones everyone knows. But I think it was like Pestilence was added in later, and Conquest was the original fourth horseman.
I think you might get that backwards, but
it's either Famine or I think it was Pestilence, because I remember one of the ones that just sounds really lame conceptually, but is actually horrifying when you think about it, and that's Famine, because Famine just sounds lame conceptually, but like I think it was like Pestilence is the horseman that isn't originally in the book. It's like War, Death, Conquest, and Famine.
Oh.
So
Conquest. They removed Conquest.
Michael, I gotta ask. Would you fuck any of them? Would you fuck Conquest? Would you fuck Conquest?
I don't know. Let's have the Bukkake going on.
And that's where we end the show.
Hey! 4 horsemen plus Conquest Bukkake. That's how X-Men Apocalypse is gonna end. Apocalypse is gonna be blockaded by his horsemen.
Okay, that's it.
He's gonna
That's
get
it.
Ivan oozed on.
Oh God, damn it!
All right, I think that's too perfect. I'm ending the show. Goodbye. Good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Night.
Okay.